Chapter 8. Be diligent concerning your work. Ecclesiastes chapter 9 verse 10. Whatsoever thy hand findeth to do, do it with thy might. For there is no work, nor device, nor knowledge, nor wisdom in the grave whither thou goest. Whatever field or profession you decide to embark upon, make sure you give it your best every day. The people that labor every moment of the working day are promoted faster and are considered more honorable in the workforce than those that do just enough to get by. I recently visited a used car dealership in Ohio and was amazed at what I saw. I came into the dealership, sat down in the middle of the office, and no one came to ask me if I needed any help. It was as if I was not even there. I was able to afford monthly payments on all the cars in the dealership, but was not even approached. It did not affect me too much because my purpose for being there was to get my vehicle repaired. However, as I waited, I observed one of the salesmen in the office bouncing a ball up and down while talking to another worker. They evidently were not diligent about their work. The state of diligence is to show care and a persistent work effort towards a worthy goal. A diligent car salesman would have approached me to see if I needed any help. He would have cared enough for his company and even his own livelihood to approach a possible customer. Today, this is why it seems effortlessly to blow by the competition. The majority of workers do not put in the extra energy it takes to become extraordinary. Extraordinary workers become first in line for promotions, paid vacations, and other benefits that are not provided to the average worker. That is why it's a good idea to do enjoyable work. When you are working a job or in a business you are passionate about, you will perform more efficiently. Oftentimes, you will find yourself immersed in your work because you enjoy it so much. You will take more initiative and be more willing to go the extra mile because it lines up with your dreams, goals, and values. Unfortunately, close to 80% of people hate the work that they do every day. Therefore, they perform poorly on their jobs. They do just enough to get by. This is not the attitude we should bring into the marketplace. Every day, it should be your goal to give tremendous effort to becoming the best in your line of work. By practicing this principle, you will put yourself in the higher ranks of your company. Take the challenge to be diligent in your work. There was a saying years ago when I played college basketball, go hard or go home. If you are not willing to put it all on the line every day you go to work, you are cheating your family, team, or organization. Also, when you give all you have day in and out, you receive a feeling of accomplishment. This feeling of accomplishment supersedes that of mediocrity and of subpar behavior. When you put forth your best effort every day, the time passes quickly and you will reap a reward in due season. I have personally witnessed weeks blow by because I was so immersed in activity with my business. Due to tireless labor, these weeks ended up turning into months of positive productivity, which increased my income. The same could be the result for you. Whatever work you commit yourself to, give it your all, and remember that anything worth doing is worth doing well. I can't stand my boss. Many people often make the mistake of underperforming because of their feelings towards their boss or management team. As they slowly finish their tasks, they spread negative energy throughout the workplace. These are the people that always have something unfavorable to say about the company and are always complaining. These type of individuals must be avoided. Do not engage in lengthy conversations with them. Continue to work hard through the allotted hours you have committed to, despite your feelings towards your coworkers. Work longer hours. If possible, volunteer to work overtime, especially if it does not conflict with your family or moral values. Oftentimes, overtime pay will increase due to the lack of participants at a company. Time and a half is often offered for weekends or holidays. These are days you can maximize off of similar hours in which you would normally work while earning a significant increase in income. You can also come to work earlier and make an astounding difference in your productivity. The amount of work you can get done before others arrive can be staggering. Without distractions, a colossal amount of work can be accomplished. Working extra hours will also show your boss you are committed to the company and your own personal growth. These same principles apply to those that own and operate their own businesses. On the days I decided to start my business a few hours early, it paid off in a major way. From the hours of 5 o'clock a.m. to 8 o'clock a.m., I was able to complete a full day's worth of work. During those early hours of the morning, I was able to catch up from the previous day's work. Starting work early added a few more hours to my work schedule, but those few golden hours increased my income by leaps and bounds. Try it for yourself. If you can go to work a little earlier or stay later, you will witness a decrease in distractions and an increase in your productivity. Keep in mind, it is necessary to maintain a positive attitude while you are accomplishing your task. Stand out from the rest. Make sure you are a worker that stands out from among the rest. Those in the top 20% of their field are less likely to be fired than those in the bottom 80%. Your decision to work vigorously can be the difference between providing for your family or having to apply for unemployment. Try arriving to work 15 minutes earlier to separate yourself from other workers. Observe what other employees around you are doing and try to do more. The small, seemingly insignificant positive things you do will soon be noticed by someone in a position of authority. Proverbs chapter 10, verse 4. He becometh poor that dealeth with a slack hand, but the hand of the diligent maketh rich. We will indeed become poor when we adopt a lazy attitude and mindset. If you are an owner of your own operation or if you are an honest worker, you must be diligent about your work. Poverty is the reward for the man or woman that lightly esteems the work they do. On the other hand, a person who is earnest will in return receive riches. Determine in your mind that you want to receive the emotional, spiritual, and financial riches that comes with being diligent. Proverbs chapter 10, verse 5. He that gathereth in the summer is a wise son, but he that sleepeth in harvest is a son that causes shame. Gather as much as you possibly can during the time of plenty. For many businesses, the summer months are the prime time of the year. The weather is warmer and the daylight hours are longer. During this season, record profits are generally made and more advancement takes place. Make sure you position yourself to gather as much money and experience as possible to store up during the slower months. Summer will not stay around forever, so maximize those days while you can. During this time, do not be the person that is in love with sleep. There are many people that want to accomplish major things in life, but their love for sleep blocks their prosperity. Do not choose to sleep through the season of plenty while the active workers are gathering food, income, and knowledge which will help them survive the winter months. A lazy and slothful worker will be filled with shame and regret once they realize they did not gather as much as they could during the times of the harvest. Proverbs chapter 13 and verse 4. The soul of the sluggard desireth and haveth nothing, but the soul of the diligent shall be made fat. The person who is slothful will be rewarded with less in life. This is the person that fantasizes about exotic vacations, increased income, luxurious estates, and more, but is too lazy to get off the couch and to go to work. Be consistent and dedicated to your work, and you will reap some incredible benefits. You and your family will be filled with bread and other delicacies, while the sluggard will be asking for handouts. Proverbs chapter 12 and verse 24. The hand of the diligent shall bear rule, but the slothful shall be under tribute. Typically, the individual that is consistent, diligent, and productive will hold a higher position than the individual who is apathetic and unmotivated. The majority of people have phenomenal ideas but are too afraid to implement them. Therefore, they are subject to a life of mediocrity and regret. The slothful person will be forced to labor. They will not earn promotion because they cannot be trusted with greater responsibilities. Would you trust a careless worker to run your business? I believe we all know the answer to that question. Strive to be in the upper echelons of workers in your field. According to Proverbs chapter 20 and verse 4, a sluggard would not work because of the cold weather. This is not the attitude of a high achiever. We should always be willing to give a strong effort towards our work or activity despite the trials and tribulations. When the harvest comes around, the sluggard will be the one begging others that have capitalized. Do not allow the cold weather or the dry seasons of life to be an excuse for you not to give your best efforts in reaching your goals and dreams. Ecclesiastes chapter 11 verse 4. He that observeth the wind shall not sow, and he that regardeth the clouds shall not reap. People who are looking for the weather to be always favorable will have an arduous time being consistent with their work. These are the people who may not ever sow seeds and therefore will not reap during the harvest season. Resolve in your mind that you will work your hardest regardless of the circumstances. During times of intense rain and unforeseen life events, you may have to make adjustments. However, be determined to weather the storms and reap when the time of harvest takes place. Avoid idleness. Ecclesiastes chapter 10 verse 18. By much slothfulness the building decayeth, and through idleness of hands the house droppeth through. Whether it is a building, your body, or anything you may have possession over, it will soon deteriorate if you are not diligent with its maintenance and upkeep. Proverbs chapter 27 and verse 23. Be thou diligent to know the state of thy flocks, and look well to thy herds. We should be diligent to know the status of everything we oversee. So much of our time, energy, and money are wasted when we are unorganized and unaware. This scripture often helps me when I'm tempted to procrastinate and need to get fired up. Taking inventory of the state of my business allows me to pinpoint things that are necessary in order to make progress. This simple act of being diligent has helped me to meet crucial deadlines, save thousands of dollars, avoid major pitfalls, and be a more respectable business owner. Take inventory now and be sure to make the proper adjustments in order to protect and propel your business and personal growth. Ecclesiasticus chapter 33 verse 27. Send him to labor that he be not idle, for idleness teaches much evil. If you are the owner of a business, make sure that your workers are consistently in activity mode. Allowing them to have too much downtime will indeed decrease your level of productivity. This especially holds true for children. An idle mind is often called the devil's workshop. When an individual is engaged in something productive, they have less time to get involved in evil things. Staying busy is also a method that has helped people overcome grief, addictions, and other struggles. Idleness gives a person too much time to think, and in many cases can lead to destructive behavior. Be sure to always keep yourself occupied with productive activities. If you apply the scriptures and practical knowledge within this chapter, your life will drastically improve. Put these principles to work, and you will be happier, more fulfilled, and less concerned about materialistic things. Be diligent in every area of your life. Take inventory on your spirituality, work ethic, family interactions, and anything else in your life that is of a high priority. If you are going to do something worthwhile, try to be the absolute best at it.